Okay, we indeed are. So, okay. So, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning for the Owensboro, Kentucky area. And we had 1 inch hail observed. So, this is not radar indicated. This is somebody's actually spotted 1 inch hail within this storm. So, I'm going to read this off of my phone. This is flying, folks, flying at 70 miles an hour. That's why it only goes for another 14 minutes because it's just flying. So, South Central Spencer County and southwestern Indiana, which we serve. Let me zoom in real quickly. That's just for the southern flank of it, really. And then Central Daviess County in northwestern Kentucky. 153, a severe thunderstorm warning was located over Owensboro, moving to the east at 70 miles an hour. So again, like I said, this is flying. This is not, usually the storms move 35, 50. This storm is one of the quicker ones, moving at 70. 60 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter size hail. Again, we have a tornado watch until 5 a.m. for Indiana and northwestern Kentucky, and this is hail threat observed quarter size. We saw a spotter observed quarter size hail, and the wind gust 60 miles an hour. Now, I want to show you the tornado watch that we have in effect on my phone because it doesn't really want to show up on here. So, if you can see this, we have a tornado watch for Southern Illinois that should drop it within the hour. Indiana up towards Louisville, Bloomington, those areas. So, and then that goes for about another 3 hours. So, let's dive into this storm. Again, I also want to talk about this new severe storm warning we have up towards our very northern counties, Knox, Daviess, and Martin County, I believe. And this is still going with, but they've upped the wind, but it's still going with tornado possible, but they've upped the wind. The wind is now 70 miles per hour possible, 70. So once you start getting there, you're kind of getting worried about minor damage to roof, siding, trees, etc., that type of stuff. So again, I want to touch on this storm near just south of Indianapolis. Then we'll go back to that Owensboro storm. I'm not really seeing much in the way of rotation. I want to put on storm relative. Weak rotation. So I am noticing some very strong winds though. That could be getting down to the ground, and I want to put a track on this as well. Right near Freedom, Worthington, Bloomfield, Newberry, headed towards Bloomington, Ellettsville, Spencer, Gosport, Paragon, Morgantown, Travoker, Clear Creek, Smithville, Harrodsburg. Those are the areas that will be getting some strong wind. Again, we could see winds 60 to 65, maybe an isolated burst of a 70 mile per hour wind gust, but I wouldn't bet money on it. So mainly scattered 60 to 65 mile per hour winds with this cluster of storms. And I want to put a track on it because we still have the tornado possible, and again, it's not ruled out that we couldn't have a tornado. But the main threat will be damaging winds and large hail. So it was moving to the east at 55 miles per hour again. Hazard 70 mile per hour wind gusts. So I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna have to. Can I do a line track? I want to see if I can do a line track. Oh, sweet, I can. Okay, 55. This would be the northern part of it. Paragon 209, Browns Crossing 212, Weakland 215, McDaniel 215, Fleener 217, Martinsville 217, Cascade 217, Wolf 219, Unionville 219, and I'm gonna scroll down here. Bud 231, Camp Roberts 232. And then Northcliffe at 247. So, okay, we're gonna go back down here to the Owensboro storm. And again, these storms are getting a little bit on the stronger side, y'all. So, I'm gonna be watching this the next couple of hours. However, they are moving fast out of the viewing area, so we shouldn't be on much longer. I know some of you may want to go to bed. Only going to be a couple more hours, folks. Only going to be a couple more hours. So, again, we got that severe thunderstorm warning extended. 1 inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. So, we're going to touch on that. Again, these are moving out of the viewing area pretty quickly. I mean, you saw how this one was just over Owensboro like 5 minutes ago, and it's all the way over here now. It's all the way in a different county. So, yeah, there's the burst of wind right there. I'm going to see what my phone is picking that up on, because I get a little bit more accurate data on my phone. Doesn't really want to show like it's okay on here, but it doesn't want to show the accurate, like it doesn't give 100% accurate measure. It's picking up about in the vicinity of 60 to 65-mile-per-hour winds. So these storms are getting pretty strong here. But if the gust front is behind. If the storms are behind the gust front, we won't really have to be worried about anything except for hail. So I'm talking about these storms up in southern Illinois, which I'll show you, and then I'm going to sign off here. So again, strong burst of wind right here, headed towards the Knoxville area, over 142, over 764, about to head over to 951. So let's put a track on this. This is flying. I'd still assume 70. It is for Hancock County in central Kentucky, and then other counties that are out of the viewing area. So only Hancock County, and this goes, they've tracked it now at 55. It was located over Knoxville, 60-mile-per-hour wind and quarter-size hail. So I'm going to put a track on this. I still have the line on. I need to switch back to cellular. And then I forgot to track that one up there. I'm going to track the southern part of it. It'll be out of the viewing area in about 15-20 minutes. Okay, so there you go. Knoxville 215, Herbert 221, Dukes 228, Cloverport 232, Kirk 240, and Hardinsburg 242, which is, it'll be out of the viewing area by about 220, 230, 225. It's not going to be in the viewing area except for another maybe 15 minutes, so. Okay. Go back. I was thinking freaky models on here, but it's not wanting to work with us. The models aren't, so. Okay. Back to radar. We have a significant weather advisory up towards McLeansboro and Carmi. I'll touch on that real quickly. But I want to get to this storm near Bloomington, just south of Indianapolis first, because this is on the fringe of our viewing area, right? Bloomington is north, but you see some strong winds. That's on our side of the viewing area. It's mainly for our very, very northern counties, but we got to pay attention to everybody, right? So I believe that this was moving at 55. Yeah, 55. Moving east at 55. Okay. I didn't put it out far enough. I have to do a new track on that. Back up. Track. It doesn't want to work with us. But anyway, Guthrie, Seymour, Brownstown, Jonesville. It'll be headed towards your vicinity shortly. And then it's going to cross 69, Interstate 69 here. And then Bartlesville, Pikes peak. It'll be headed towards your area shortly. So I told you about that storm. It's just by Owensboro about 10 minutes ago. It's already in a whole different county. It's about to move into another different county. Just so it shows you how quick some of these storms are moving tonight. So again, this significant weather advisory is about to expire, but we do have some storms in southern Illinois that are moderately strong. Moderately strong, so. Okay. Again, this is just transformed into a line, but it's not a significant line. So, and what I mean by not a significant line is because it's not strong. It's not showing what the models were showing earlier, that this was going to be more of a severe setup. This is mainly more of a hail setup, and I'll tell you why. Because look, the gust front is way ahead. You see that thin green line right there? That's the gust front way ahead of the storms. And so when you get that, the tornado threat, non-existent, gusty wind threat, basically non-existent. We only have a large hail threat. So, and again, I just want to touch on how far the gust front is out ahead of it. You see about 12 miles. So I would assume basically 10 miles. And so tornado threat, gusty wind threat, basically non-existent, like I just said. So because it's so the thin green line, which is the gust front, is so far ahead out of the storms that it's just shut off. Because when the gust front is not moving with the storms, you don't have any wind to push the storms to keep going. You only have a large hail threat, so that's why we're not really getting any warnings with this. And if it were to be a severe thunderstorm warning, it would be for large hail. So again, we're tracking this line. Should be out in about 10 minutes for that Owensboro cellular storm. Not showing any rotation with that, but it is a cellular storm, so I'll have to keep an eye on it. And for the next about 10 minutes. Otherwise, then we'll be good after that. So, and we'll keep an eye on this storm just south of Bloomington. We'll keep you up to date. Come back on if there are any warnings. But until then, I'm going to sign off of here. And y'all have a good night.